And so, you know, I mean, we learned. I stepped into hear Miss Cassandra Conover talk about something in the last panel: intergenerational transfer of trauma. I was like, whew. I had to stand up to try to catch that one. And then I went to the Bible to see if I could find it in the Bible. And you know where I found that one? The intergenerational transfer of trauma. And most of y'all don't even like to read that part of the Bible when you skim over it. But that's what the Bible, the King James Version, calls begat. Begat. And you know, when you be getting it, it's fun. But sometimes you begat something. And I was driving through Petersburg, through the neighborhood one evening, and kind of went around the block, and I had seen this lady walking, and came around the block, and she was still walking. It was cold. She didn't have a coat on. And, you know, our eyes met. And I was like, you know, I got to do something. She's cold, she's walking. You can tell she was just walking through the neighborhood. She was on her way somewhere. And she didn't have a coat, it was cold out. And I stopped and I pulled over and said, hey, where are you going? You know, and she told me she was actually going to West Petersburg, and she was over here, over on Fillmore Street. And so I told her, come on, I'll take you. And as I began to speak to her, she, you know, found out her name and everything. She was talking about her daughter just had a baby, and she was on the way somewhere, had to get, you know, whatever, and began to tell me a little bit about her life. And I said, well, how old are you? She said she was 30. She's 30 years old, and she's a grandmother. And that's the begats, that's the intergenerational transfer of trauma. And at this rate, at that rate, great-great-grandmas are going to be up in the club. And we're just transferring it from one generation to the next generation, and they're coming on faster and faster and faster. And so I got